Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are back here at property address 2055 Southeast 112th Avenue here in Portland, dropping into the 4-inch ABS cleanout in the backyard. We're just doing a re-scope here to check the repair work. But we've got water running. We're going to advance out to where that repair area is. We'll drain the line off and then have a look at it. We did have a very, very minor belly there. Originally, that was not the biggest concern in the world, was fixing the belly. It was just also right next to where that damaged spot was. So this is that location right here. I have a little bit of debris in the line here. It looks like a rock may have got in during the repair process. Although there was a hole in the pipe too, so in fact, I'm going to try and push that little guy out here as far as I can get it to go. It's a very small little rock. It'll have no bearing on functionality, especially once we get it out to this point. There's too much gravity. Alright, this is the vertical drop here. We've already gone past the area that was damaged, so we're going to let the line drain. Alright, so pulling back through here, you do have a little bit of a kind of a horizontal offset, and this looks like the piece of pipe here where I'm going to go locate right now, but you can see that, you know, how you've got the staining in that piece of pipe. This piece of pipe is spotless clean. But we've got an offset joint here now. It's kind of a horizontal offset. The concern there is the joint going to stay together properly. Is it going to pull apart and shift over time? The standing water in this area, I think, is now... I'll have to go back and look at the review. I mean, it's not the world's biggest belly I've ever seen, don't get me wrong, but I believe there is actually more standing water here now than there was to begin with. So I'm not sure if this was actually, if that got regraded, or if this one section of pipe was just chopped out. Based on the staining at the top of the pipe there, I don't know that that section got regraded, so I'm going to try and locate. So very near it's just a little bit prior to where that edge of the trench is there, where you can at least visibly see where the dirt was kind of disrupted. So that section grades off okay. Yeah, there is a little bit of water actually going through the line right now. So anyway, it's kind of hard to say, but the kind of staining you have at the top of the pipe there generally doesn't just happen overnight. I'm not sure if someone tried to regrade the pipe that was already there, and if it's been sitting that way for a long enough time, the plastic can deform, and it can be very hard to actually regrade deformed plastic. But I'm a little concerned on how that's going to hold up over time. You can see how the joint's separated. It also got a little bit of a horizontal offset to it. So this piece of pipe right here clearly looks like it got corrected. This one looks really clean. You can see just ahead there, you got some dirt at the top of the pipe, or not dirt necessarily, but staining. And then the same thing here. So this was kind of my concern to begin with. Without regrading that belly, my concern was if you tried to spot repair just that hole, especially after the line has had a gaping hole in the bottom of it, letting water escape, which can do some undermining and loosening of the soil under the pipe. That was the reasoning behind recommending that small belly be repaired, because I was concerned you were going to end up with something kind of like this. A spot repair, the pipe is indeed, there's no hole there any longer, but now you've got a horizontal offset, and the standing water is actually worse than it was to begin with. So, we've gone from probably more like a 1/16 of an inch. Now we're, the water line's touching the bottom of my camera lens. We're closer to a 1/4 of an inch. So, anyway, that's something I would like to see corrected, because my concern is it's only under 3 feet of earth. Is it going to hold up over time? Is it going to continue to shift? That's the concern there. So anyway, I've kind of marked, whoever's out here fixing this should be doing their locates and whatnot too with their own camera, but I've marked this out, basically where the belly starts, as well as I parked it right on that offset joint there. You'll see the paint markings over here. So where the belly starts there, give or take a couple inches, it's just barely prior to where that trench, where the loose soil is. And then the offset joint is just before where the trench got closed up. So anyway, I'm not sure if enough ground got opened up there, or if only that hole was gone after and the pipe didn't get regraded. That's kind of how it's looking. I don't know if they attempted to regrade the pipe at all, and it was just the hole that got fixed. And that was my concern, is that you're going to end up with something like this. So anyway, I'd like to see that corrected, especially for longevity's sake. Make sure nothing continues to move.